Hi, Mr. Moustache here, and today we're going to look at how to create sentences, short sentences. So we're going to be creating these sentences using colourful semantics, which is a very important part of this and makes the whole process of creating sentences, short sentences, very simple. What is colourful semantics? Colourful semantics is an approach created by Alice and Brian. It is aimed at helping children to develop their grammar, but it's rooted in the meaning of the words semantics. Colourful semantics represents sentences by cutting them up into their grammatical roles and then colour codes them. The approach has 4 colour code stages, and there are further stages such as adverbs, adjectives, conjunctions, negatives and whatnot. We're not going to look at those today. We're going to look at the simple colours and the simple meanings and questions. They do come in handy if you want to write longer sentences. Right, as I've said, I'm going to use different colours to the original colourful semantics, as that's what we do at my workplace, and I don't want to confuse my kids because I know they all watch my videos. Also, another important thing to remember is the colours and the order of the colours depends on what you're writing about, and today we're going to be writing about weekend news / daily news, as normally I do weekend news using colourful semantics with my kids. So for my daily news / weekend news, I've done it in this order. So when, where, who, what doing and what. Let's start off by explaining the first one. When. So when was this? Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Sunday. Next we've got red, which is where, and that's, for example, where was it? Where did this thing happen? In the living room, garden, home, who? Next we've got orange, and that's who. So who was you with? Was you with your mum, brother, dad? Next is yellow, which means what was you doing? For example, did you watch? Was you kicking? Did you play? Played. Depends on your tenses, which we're going to come on to later. And the last colour is blue, and it means what. So what was it you were watching? Was it a movie? What was you kicking? A ball? What was you playing with? Or what did you play with? Games. Now that I've shown you what each colour represents, what question it represents or word it represents, I'm going to show you an example of the weekend news I would have done at work. For example, I would have asked them when, and they would tell me Saturday. I'd ask them where did they go, and they'll say cinema. Who was you with? Mum. What was you doing? Watching. And what was you watching? A film. So that's what it looked like. And of course, if you said that out aloud, it wouldn't make much sense and it wouldn't be a sentence. Saturday, cinema, mum, watching film. Simple keywords that we're going to use to make our short sentences now. So the sentence can be, on Saturday, I went to the cinema with my mum and we were watching a film. And there we go. So we've written our first short sentence about our weekend news, which we're going to change to daily news now. But before we move on, you could always change the end words. So for example, instead of watching the cinema, you could talk about eating the popcorn in the cinema, which is also delicious. It's also very important. Delicious. Sweet. I miss cinema popcorn. I don't know what it is. It's just nicer, isn't it? Popcorn. Right, so let's move on to how we're going to do this at home. What we need today is paper, ruler, pen, pencil, and the 5 different colourful semantic colours, which are green, red, orange, yellow, and blue. So first thing we need to do is get our ruler and pencil and quickly do a little table here. So I've pre-done mine. So down here, across, down, and then we need 5 boxes. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Do another little line here and write the words down that each box represents. For example, when, where, or maybe I shouldn't use this pen. It's a bit too big, but who, what, doing, and what. And we're going to call this daily news. Now we've got the colours, now we've got our table ready, we can colour it in as well, just to make sure that we remember our colours and what each colour represents. When is green, then we've got where, red, then we've got who, which is orange, then we've got yellow for what doing, and lastly we've got what for blue. Now we write down our keywords. So, for example, I'm going to write Monday. When was it? Monday. Where was it? I was in the garden. Who was I with? My brother. What was we doing? Kicking. What was we kicking? A ball. Now I've got my keywords, I can make it into a sentence. Right, so now that we've got our colourful semantic words, our keywords, we're going to use them to write our sentences. So let's quickly make a line here. If you've got line paper, of course you can use line paper. Let's start writing our sentences. We can't just write this in this order, otherwise it wouldn't make sense. Monday, garden, brother, kick and ball, not really. So we're going to start off with, what day was it on? On Monday. Where was he? In the garden. I was in the where? Garden. With who? With my brother. What were they doing? Brother kicking what? A ball. Full stop. And there we go. There's our short sentence. On Monday, I was in the garden with my brother kicking a ball. You can always change these about. So for example, who, instead of writing brother, you can write your brother's name. For example, Tom. And also, for what doing, you might have to change the tense. Present, past, or future tense. So for example, instead of kicking, kicked. Or if you're going to kick it later, kick a ball. So it depends if you're going to write this before what you're going to do, after, or during what you're doing. Now that we've done it on here, I'm going to show you some more examples. Make sure you use this piece of paper. So let's do another one on screen. So for example, if we do, on Thursday, I was at home with dad eating food. So again, we can change these words about. So instead of saying where was you at home, instead of putting home, we can be a bit more specific and write kitchen. Or instead of writing food, we can be more specific and say cornflakes. And it's also a great idea if you could take a picture of them doing this activity and then writing it later. For example, here's a picture of me eating cornflakes, and here's my colourful semantics example. So it's always good to take a picture, and then you can always refer back to that or show it to them, give them a reminder and a template to work on. So let's turn this into a sentence. On Thursday, I was in the kitchen and I was eating some cornflakes. And there we go. And that's how you make short sentences using colourful semantics. I hope that helped. Until next time, please subscribe to the YouTube because I want to reach 100 so I can change the name about. And I can't do that till I've got 100 subscribers. Please make sure you watch the next video, as in the next video I'm going to show you how to use colourful semantics to write about a book that you're reading. So that should be cool. And you can integrate that into your guided reading or reading sessions that you do at home. Really useful stuff. Yeah. Until next time, remember to share, repost, challenge someone, and subscribe. Thank you.